Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to learn and talk about two-step flow model of mass communication. In our last class, we talked about stimulus response model. And as you know that we have started our discussion on the models related to effects of mass communication. So this model is another example of research related to effects of mass communication or effects of mass media. All right, so let's begin. Let me maximize the screen. All right, so here is some information related to the two-step flow model. This model came around 1940, and it came when some scholars were studying the effects of American elections through mass media. Um, Now, let me tell you, just do not read the content that you see on the screen. Just pay attention to what I'm saying, and later I'll let you read the content. Remember when we were talking about stimulus response model, I told you that this model came around 1920s and 30s when early research began in um, when early research began on the effects of radio and newspapers that were available mass media to people. Now, you see the time period of again this research, again, that was the time when newspapers and radio were the popular mass media among people. And this research actually came when some further research related to stimulus response model failed to find direct contact or direct effects of mass media. I'll explain this again shortly, but just pay attention to what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that the two-step model came when findings uh, from research studies that were happening to study the effects of stimulus response model, they could not find the direct contact or direct effect of media which was coming from newspapers. Uh, if you still confused about the slide that I just discussed, you do not need to worry. Actually, you will get a better understanding when I discuss content in next slides. Now, here are some important things for you to consider, uh, especially in context to stimulus response model that we discussed in our last lecture. So in stimulus response model, there is media and there is audience. So it says that there is direct contact. There are direct effects of messages coming from media to audience. That is one step. You see, the information comes only in one step. There is media, and then there are audience. So information is coming from media to audience, just one step. Now consider the two step. In two-step model, it says that there are actually two categories of people. There are active users of media. Active users are those people who consume media a lot. And especially in 1940s, of course, it was newspapers and radio. And similarly, there is other category of people who consume media but are not very active. Maybe their media consumption is less, or they do not consume media at all. So such people are largely influenced by their personal context. In this model, it is really important for us to understand that there can be two types of people. First, active users of model, and second, people who are less active. Now, according to this model, there is the information gets to people in two steps. It comes from media, then it goes to active users. Active users also can become opinion leaders that further take this message to those people who are less active users of media. So from media to active users, first step. From active users to less active users, second step. That is how it becomes two-step model. I'll repeat this information here, that in stimulus response model, that is just one step. Information is coming from media and it's going to people. The dissemination of information is happening in just one step. Media to people. And there is this direct effect of media, from media to people, from media to audience. However, in two-step model, information comes from media. It first goes to active users of media who play the role of opinion leaders, and then those active users further take the information to less active people. That is how the information is actually disseminated in two steps. For this reason, it is known as the two-step model. Let's see what we have on the next slide. So what does the two-step model say? Two-step flow model say? It's the same information that I just shared with you. Ideas often flow from radio and print to the opinion leaders. Active users are opinion leaders. I will repeat, active users of media are opinion leaders, because after using media, they build their opinion, and then they take their opinion further to those people who are less active users. So I'll repeat, ideas often flow from radio and print to the opinion leaders, and from them to the less active sections of population. That is how the dissemination of information happens in two steps. You can see that again, the emphasis here is on radio and print, because these were available mediums in 1940s, the time period when the model came. All right. So Paul Lazarus Felt, and then he was actually a sociologist, and then this person, E. Katz, I do not know how to pronounce his first name, they further developed the model, and this is the a diagrammatic presentation of model that we see here. What you see here on the left side of your screen is actually one-step model. We can also say stimulus response model. You see early mass comm model. The small circles that you see here, they denote individuals constituting a mass, individuals who are making a mass. Like message, here you see this is media, and messages are getting to masses. These are masses, these are individuals, they constitute mass. And you see this is mass media, so message is coming to masses. You see there is just this direct link, direct effect from media to masses. This is one step. This is two-step flow model. You see this is media. The bigger circle here denotes opinion leaders, again active users. I would repeat that opinion leaders are actually active users of media. So bigger circles denote opinion leaders, whereas smaller circle with line denote individuals who have contacts, individuals who are in contact with opinion leaders, who are in contact with opinion. So bigger circles again are opinion leaders, and the smaller circles with lines denote individuals who are in contact with opinion leader. See, this is how the two-step the process of communication goes in two steps. That information comes from masses and it goes to opinion leaders, to active users. They further take this information to less active users. Information, first step to active users, second step to less active users. Users who are in contact with these opinion leaders. So in a way, we can see that this model actually emphasizes the role of social relationships, social structures, that people are highly influenced by other people, by friends and family members who are around them. Now, this picture actually explains the two-step model, the two-step flow of communication process really, really well. This is an important thing for you to remember, that the model actually emphasizes the interpersonal influence. Model says that the interpersonal influence is stronger than that of mass media. I'll go back to the last slide again. Yes, information is coming, but usually opinion leaders, active users are being affected, and then those active users are taking that information to less active users, people who are in contact with them. I'll stop here and I'll explain the rest of the lecture in another recording. Thank you.